False consciousness is a term used by Karl Marx, sociologist, and describes how people can be deceived into thinking that systems like capitalism or certain religious doctrines are in their best interests when they are not. This belief obscures the reality of social inequalities and injustices. Marx argued that the ruling class uses religion to perpetuate the false consciousness by presenting social hierarchies and suffering as part of a divine plan, keeping the lower classes passive. Misogynistic practices. Conservative religious views often reinforce gender inequality by promoting traditional roles and framing patriarchal practices as divinely sanctioned, making it difficult to challenge gender-based injustices and hindering progress toward gender equality. A significant example of false consciousness in action is the impact of religiously motivated residential schools here in Canada. These institutions, operated by religious organizations with partnership with the Canadian government, were aimed to ruin the Indigenous people's culture by erasing their identities and imposing Christian values. This policy was justified and is an effort to civilize Indigenous populations, yet it led to widespread cultural loss, trauma, and ongoing socioeconomic challenges for these communities. The false consciousness here was the belief that the oppressive measures were here for the greater good, making the true harm inflicted on Indigenous peoples. Islamophobia is characterized by fear or discrimination against those who practice Islam and is deeply rooted in ignorance and misconceptions. It often conflates Islamic practices with violence, misogyny, and terrorism, leading to widespread prejudice and hostility. This form of discrimination has been present in society for centuries, with its origins traceable to historical conflicts between Islamic and Western civilizations. These conflicts often reinforce negative stereotypes through media portrayals and policy responses. Islamophobia has had profound and enduring impacts on Muslim communities. For centuries, Muslims have faced systematic discrimination, social exclusion, and violence. This has led to a range of negative effects, including social isolation, psychological stress, and economic disadvantage. The marginalization of Muslims has been perpetuated by structural and institutional factors such as bias, media representations, discriminatory legislation, and insufficient educational coverage of Islamic cultures. In order to approach addressing Islamophobia, education and awareness initiatives are crucial for countering misconceptions and fostering understanding about Islam. Promoting accurate information through media and educational systems can help dismantle harmful stereotypes. Policy reforms are also necessary to protect against discrimination and ensure equal rights for all individuals. Additionally, community engagement, including interfaith dialogues and cultural exchanges, can build bridges and reduce prejudice.
Collective conciseness in the Hindu temple. The Hindu temple stands as a profound embodiment of the concept of collective conciseness, a term that signifies the shared and unified spiritual awareness of a community. In essence, a Hindu temple is not merely a place of worship, but a dynamic space where the collective spiritual energies of its devotees converge, creating a rich tapestry of communal devotion and conciseness. From the moment one steps into a Hindu temple, the atmosphere is imbued with a sense of collective intent and purpose. The temple's architecture, with its intricate carvings and sacred symbols, serves a manifestation of the community's spiritual beliefs and cultural heritage. Each element of the temple, from the sanctum sanctorum to the decorative motifs, is designed to reflect and enhance the collective conciseness of its devotees. During rituals and ceremonies, this collective conciseness becomes particularly palpable. The act of group worship, whether through chanting, singing bhajans, which are devotional songs, or performing rituals, creates a shared spiritual experience that transcends individual differences. In these moments, the boundaries between individual selves dissolve, and a unified sense of purpose and devotion emerges. This collective experience fosters a heightened state of spiritual awareness and connection, both to the divine and the fellow worshippers. The temple also serves as a center for communal activities and gatherings, reinforcing the collective conciseness beyond the walls of a sacred space. Festivals, communal prayers, and educational sessions contribute to a shared sense of identity and purpose among the devotees. These activities help to build a strong spiritual community where each member's personal spiritual journey is intertwined with the collective journey of the group. In this sacred environment, the concept of collective conciseness extends to the broader spiritual and social impacts of the temple. The temple's role is in nurturing a sense of belonging and fostering communal harmony is a testament to the power of collective spiritual engagement. By coming together in worship and celebration, devotees contribute to a collective energy that uplifts and transforms not only themselves but also the community at large. Thus, the Hindu temple, through its design, rituals, and communal activities, becomes a vibrant manifestation of collective conciseness. It is a place where individual spiritual experiences are harmonized into a greater collective experience, reflecting the unity of interconnectedness that is central to the Hindu understanding of the divine. Cohort dynamics in a Hindu temple. In the context of a Hindu temple, the term cohort aptly describes the dynamic interplay and collective experience of its community members. A Hindu temple is not only a sacred space for individual worship, but also a vibrant center where distinct cohorts of devotees come together, each contributing to the temple's spiritual and communal fabric. The concept of cohort in temple worship. A cohort in this sense refers to a group of devotees who share a common spiritual journey and come together regularly within the temple environment. These cohorts can be defined by various factors. They might be organized by age, family, groups, specific spiritual interests, or participation in particular temple activities. Each cohort brings its unique energy, traditions, and perspectives, enriching the temple's overall spiritual atmosphere. At a Hindu temple, cohorts often form around common activities such as daily prayers, festivals, educational programs, and charitable events. For example, a cohort of elderly devotees might gather for morning prayers and discussions on spiritual texts, while younger cohorts may engage in study groups or participate in cultural performances. These groups not only support the spiritual growth of their members, but also play a crucial role in the temple's daily operations and special events. The interactions between different cohorts within the temple can be seen in various communal activities. For instance, during festivals, different cohorts might collaborate to prepare offerings, decorate the temple, and organize events. This collaboration fosters a sense of unity and mutual respect among the diverse groups, creating a harmonious and inclusive environment. In summary, the term cohort effectively captures the essence of the communal and organized nature of temple life. Within a Hindu temple, cohorts of devotees come together, each contributing to the vibrant spiritual tapestry of the temple. Their collective efforts and interactions not only enhance the temple's role as a sacred space, but also foster a rich, interconnected community where spiritual growth and shared experiences flourish.
Toronto is home to many religions, including Christian, Islamic, Judaism, Buddhist, Hindu, Sikh, and many others. Both Protestant and Catholic churches have many functions in the city, in addition to meeting the regular spiritual needs of its members. Many serve the community by trying to help the poor, such as by operating food banks or clothing drives. The Catholic Church's involvement with the indigenous peoples has been a complicated one. In many cases, Native peoples have rejected the religious doctrines, but there have been situations where examples of incorporating such practices as Catholic Mass and confessional into their spiritual beliefs has occurred. Angela Robinson coined the term Catholic traditionalist to explain this belief system. In terms of Islam, There are at least 15 mosques, or Islamic centers as they are called, within the confines of the GTA, with one of the largest ones in North America currently being built in Thorncliffe Park. There are numerous misconceptions about Islam. One word that continues to strike terror in the hearts of Westerners is the word jihad. The word jihad refers to struggle or strive. Jihad can be categorized as either greater or lesser. The greatest manifestation of jihad is jihad-i-akbar, which involves personal commitment to moral purity, rejecting forbidden or haram activities, and pursuing halal or acceptable, permissible activities. Lesser jihad, which is less common and usually involves an outward struggle of Muslim society to defend their faith from outside antagonists. Jihad of the pen involves speaking or writing in defense of Islam. In certain circumstances, lesser jihad may not be enough, and violence may be required